Now, the quality of California's water is under fire. Up and down the state, there are various issues that are plaguing residents' drinking water. Now, for the next 3 days, we're going to uncover dangerous chemicals in the water. And first, we start with the cover-up of a partial nuclear meltdown in Simi Valley, California, that you didn't hear much about. Well, we sent RT correspondent Natasha Sweet is there and has more on why some residents say this is affecting their water.
Simi Valley is known for many things, like the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and being a place where families raise their children outside of the city. But what you likely won't hear about is a chemical in the groundwater that has some residents concerned. Leah Segedy lives just outside of Los Angeles in the city of Simi Valley. The mother of three says the reason a chemical called perchlorate is in Simi Valley's groundwater is from a partial nuclear meltdown only 17 miles away. Exposure to high levels of perchlorate lowers thyroid activity and has adverse effects on the skin and cardiovascular system. The Santa Susana Field Lab, also known as Rocketdyne, began testing rocket engines and operated nuclear reactors here in the 1950s.
We didn't know about it when it happened. That's a story about the Department of Defense holding on to the information for 10 years after they received it.
Simi Valley residents either get their water from the city or from the Golden State Water Company, which is a private company. Segedy used to live in an area of Simi Valley where she received groundwater from the city. Well, she says that she had 2 of her boys there and no major health problems. But when she moved to her new residence, she began receiving her water from the Golden State. Pregnant with her youngest son, she said she noticed a difference in her thyroid, and when her son was born, he had issues his other brothers didn't, including severe skin rashes and 24 different food allergies.
We had to cover him in little onesies to keep him from scratching, and he would just bleed and pus all the time.
Mayor Keith Mashburn was born and raised in Simi Valley and believes the water is safe.
There is a state standard on how much perchlorate you're allowed to have in drinking water, and Golden State meets those standards.
Do you think the state standard is safe?
Well, I certainly think it is. I trust that it is.
Mayor Mashburn says while there is perchlorate in the groundwater, he doesn't believe Rocketdyne is the culprit.
As a child growing up out here, the insecticides and fertilizers and airplanes dropping chemicals on the citrus trees. So there was a huge amount of farming that went on and a lot of chemicals that were spread throughout the city.
But Segedy says she's concerned since the city is now talking about using the groundwater as drinking water.
This fight here to bring down the level of perchlorate in water isn't just about me. It's not just about people in Simi Valley and our thyroid issues. It's about people all over the United States eating the lettuce that we're producing here in California and getting it that way.
Since Segedy has moved, she's installed a reverse osmosis system in her home and says her son no longer has rashes on his skin. Mayor Mashburn says the city is still years away from making a decision on whether or not they'll incorporate some of Simi Valley's groundwater into their drinking water. In Simi Valley, Natasha Sweet, RT.
It's hard to clear through the debris and get right down to the nitty-gritty that is real news.
New details are coming to light in the case of Jeffrey Epstein as more
spread between the 2-year Treasury yield and the 10-year Treasury yield.
Several hundred students are staging a sit-in.
the Amazon rainforest, and the blame game is underway. It's time for RT America. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button.